Hello again, Year 3, and welcome to your second maths lesson of week 3. And this one is all about measuring. So it'd be really useful for this lesson if you were to have something to measure with. Maybe a ruler like this one. I very much doubt many of you have got a ruler like this one. Maybe you've got a tape measure. But if you can measure, that would be really good. If not, there are some problem solving things you can do anyway, where I've already given you the measurements, but hopefully you'll get to use a ruler like this. So if you remember, when we look at a ruler, it's got the measurements in centimetres, starting from 1 and going to 30. So looking at a ruler like this, you have got 30 centimetres. And each centimetre is divided into little things. If you remember, these are called millimetres. So we can measure in centimetres and millimetres. And there are 10 millimetres in each centimetre. If you look at this side of the ruler, it's got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, etc. And they're exactly the same size as this one, where it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 10 millimetres in each centimetre. So you can convert between the two. So if you know something is 5 centimetres long, which is that long, you also know it is 5 times 10 or 50 millimetres long. So you can convert easily between the two. So that's a millimetre, that's a centimetre. What happens if we go a bit bigger than that? How many centimetres are there in one of these? This is a metre stick, and if you look really carefully, it doesn't say 100 because it's got something to hold it in, but actually you've got 100 centimetres in a metre. So now you've got metres, centimetres and millimetres. So if you've got 100 centimetres in a metre, then how many millimetres do you think you've got? Maybe you could talk to someone and work out what you think. Now, interestingly, we said there is 10 centimetres, 10 millimetres in a centimetre and 100 centimetres in a metre. So 100 times 10, remember, place value grid, move it along one and add a 0. So we've now got 1,000 millimetres in a metre. So this is 1,000 millimetres long. Now, if you were really clever, you would know that there are 1,000 of these in a kilometre. So once again, you could do the maths and work out how many centimetres in a kilometre by multiplying by 10, or how many millimetres in a kilometre by multiplying by 1,000. But you don't really need to do that. We'll stick to metres. So we can know that by multiplying, dividing by tens and hundreds, we can convert between the 2 or 3 different kinds of measurements: millimetres, centimetres and metres. And your first task of the day is measure 5 things from your house. So look for, get yourself a ruler like this and measure 5 things from your house, firstly in centimetres, then into millimetres, and then convert them into millimetres only. So firstly in centimetres and millimetres, and then convert them into millimetres only. So what could I measure? Something very simple like this pen. I can place it there and I can see that it is 15 centimetres and 4 millimetres. 15 centimetres and 4 millimetres. So what do you think that might be in millimetres only? You have to convert the 15 centimetres into millimetres. So 15 times 10 is 150. And then we need to add the 4 millimetres on to get our answer. So your first activity is to find 5 objects in your house and to measure them in centimetres and millimetres. Write them down, write down what the object is, then your answer, and then I want you to convert that into just millimetres. So that could be quite fun. Now, obviously, some objects are going to be more than 30 centimetres, and if you're using a ruler like that, that's going to be a bit complicated. So let's look for something that is more than 30 centimetres. I know I'll measure my arm from here. Now, what do I do when I've got to the end of the 30? What I need to do is I need to note that that point there, just by that freckle on my hand, is 30 centimetres, and then I need to add to that the 15 centimetres and 8 millimetres towards the end of my hand. So now I've done it twice, and I've got 30 plus 15 is 45. So from there to there is 45 centimetres and about 8 millimetres, I think I said. So I've now got that. So you can use a ruler this size to measure things at all kinds of different heights. And then that is your next task. So I think you've got to find an adult in your house and find a way of measuring them in centimetres. So how big is the adult in your house in centimetres? Then I want you to convert that into metres and centimetres. So we know that meter is 100 centimetres. So you're going to divide your total number of centimetres by 100, and that will give you it in metres, and anything left over is going to be your centimetres. So that's your task today. Write it down. Tell me who it is you're measuring when you add it to Tapestry, and it'd be great to see how you get on. So when we've done that, here's some simple problem solving things for you to do. So freeze the screen, look at this and answer these problem solving questions. So write down the exact length of each pencil, and each pencil might be a slightly different length because obviously, just like in this class, they've probably been sharpened away as people have been using them. And then in question 2, children are measuring the same toy car. Eva says it's 6 centimetres and 5 millimetres, and Dexter says it is 5 centimetres. So which one is right? Look at the diagram, look at it carefully, work out which one is right, and then explain your answer. I want to see you using mathematical language and to explain which one you think is right and why it is. And then you can add that to Tapestry. Now, what about this one? Whitney, just like some of the people in my class, has accidentally managed to break her ruler. So she's managed to snap it in two, and I'm not doing that with our valuable school property. Now, how could she still use it to measure? Because it starts on 7, really, 6 or 7. So how could she actually still use that broken bit of ruler to measure in centimetres and millimetres? I want you to think about it and explain your answer on a piece of paper and stick it up on Tapestry so we can have a look at it. So that's your activities for this maths lesson. Good luck, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.